Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are going to be taking a look at the first challenge of Kingdom Legendary War. I have had the worst time trying to get this franchise of a show onto YouTube in any capacity. Road to Kingdom was a total bust, so we are giving it a try with Legendary War because I did notice some reactors were able to get some of their reactions onto YouTube, so we're gonna also try on this end. So if you see this on YouTube, we did it in some way, but I am excited to at least attempt to try to get these out because I really enjoyed this season. Yes, I did take a look at the full episodes as well, so I have a lot of refined feedback based off of what I had spoken about in these challenges throughout the show. Also keep in mind I am coming straight off of Road to Kingdom for this show, as well as a lot of my feedback is pertaining to things and elements that I had seen from previous challenges or from the full episode. So context may be a little bit different depending on where you watch this. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, Stray Kids. I heard they had a really they're one that has a set that's kind of like what we saw with Boys and with ATEEZ. I've already seen ATEEZ's set. I know what their design is. Freaking epic. Super dope. Okay, here we go. I didn't even look to see what song they're using. A lot of opposing colors. The white and the black. All of these boys are dancing in white, except for B2B so far. Well, no, Icon was in black. Yo! Are we BPM changing? Come on. Is this God's menu? Okay. Did I switch out somebody there? Oh, that's sick! We got a lot of people just falling off of stuff. Wow, this is dope. This little section right here.
show we got here.
That was cool. Okay. This one, out of them all, feels the most like I understand the importance. It is important to understand, like, everybody needs the same budget. Like, I understand that. Here's why. Because if you take the walls away, it's going to look very different, right? Because like I've talked about with both B2B and with Icon, they didn't have structures or walls like what we see here to cover up some of the extra production stage and the disconnect with that, right? They didn't have that as much, so it makes sense why we ended up seeing more of the surrounding areas, right? This right here is freaking sick in terms of environment. Do I think it's top 3? Most likely. It's probably going to be ATEEZ, Stray Kids, and The Boys in your top 3. I just don't know what SF9's gonna do, but because it's not just the vocals, they have the dance content to back that, to help add complexity and depth to their production, if that makes sense. This is like a whole freaking production. This is freaking dope. I thought this is just where we were starting, but no, we don't even go there until about a minute in. So this is really, really cool. How they started up. The opposition of the colors looks great. Love that. Oh, my foot. Hold on. My foot just fell asleep. Oh, I had to pause it because when my foot goes to sleep, it hurts. Okay, so the opposition here, really cool. They pick it up. Notice the fog really helps. Look at the type of lighting it is. Looks really cool. Of course, you have this little apparatus. So I don't know what's really on that side, but you do see the production on that side. Turning it through. The little lanterns, really dope. Diving it through. Love that. It does feel like we're entering into something way creepier. Now this right here, it feels like he's trying to lean, but it does feel more placed in the lean, but I do appreciate the opposition that's happening on that. The pull through, this, holy cuss word. Like, this is freaking sick. They could have done the whole thing here. Like, just live it up here. Live it up with just, play around with just this side. You don't even gotta go out to the other part of the stage. Like, my God, this is so cool. Now this, with the drop, it takes it and then it dangles it really small, and then they have these little lanterns, but these lanterns feel like they're like these sci-fi guns almost. Bringing it in, the little, what is it, they branch it out. So kudos to the dancers for having some pretty good spacing on this. Of course, some are closer together, some are further, but this little section looks really good, and those 3 look really cool. And then having just the hypnotism, just, it's dystopian psych ward a little bit more. Bring it through. Love that with the flip is really nice. Love that choice. The kick around is cool, but there was no response that happened because of that. Normally, I prefer when you do have that type of action. You see it with BTS No More Dream, they did that. I do know ATEEZ does it too, but they're in the same challenge, so they didn't get it from each other. But they lift him up. Love that, dropping him down. Boom, turning it. That's cool. This lighting is freaking dope. This is when lighting is a yes. Look at this. This lighting contributes to the aesthetic of what's going on. Look at it. It provides a really nice element, and also you don't see unnecessary lights infiltrate what's going on the walls. The walls provide an extra color grade to help encompass whatever vibe they want to get off of. It's these square lights that get me. That having structures in front of really helps. Just whenever that light is there, it just feels like a turn off for me, but I understand the importance of having it because it helps light up the entire space. It's a huge warehouse equivalent of a stage. Really cool. He runs, and we're back here. So now all those people have disappeared, and now the fog is on the screen. That's cool. They take him, and now we have another dancer go up, or another performer go out, and then we're moving through. Now this right here, see, I tell you, can we just ban these? You know what I mean? Like, just get rid of that. Make that an LED wall. I don't want to see those. Like, because that takes away from this segment right here. Personally, I mean, of course we have this little structure here. I think that's fine. And I'm saying that this little moment would have looked better, personally, I think, on that screen. Maybe. You know, where you have it pull, you have somebody pull, and then you have a different camera set up on a different spot. But they didn't ask me for my opinion on movement direction. They set it down, but this does take away this right here. Even the wall, super cool ambiance. This does feel a smidgen disconnected from whatever we just set up here. It kind of felt like we're all imprisoned in a Hunger Games, Black Knight, like dystopian spot. But here, you know, we're taking on, it feels like we took a it's the frame, I think, is what it is. But I freaking love it though. Taking them, moving them away. They're like little statues, so now we're kind of transitioning it over. Then having them be like puppets. This part is freaking sick. Super, super sick. So it feels like, I guess, they're all being controlled. And there's just different ways of showcasing being in control. But notice, you take this away. Bye-bye. You're left with, like, this right here, nice and dark. Perfect. It ain't taken away. But this is, you know, so, but also, whatever. Like, they did not ask me. And it's just really cool how they had this. The accent there, and they take it and they pan it. So really throwing the camera shots on that, dropping it through. And then there's your fog again. Come on. We pump it out this fog, as you should. Always pump out the fog. And then but notice, look at the camera work. Do you know what I'm saying? Is that you don't see anything that's not unnecessary. Here, you don't see the bottom of these at all. You know? Of course, you have people not running through it, and they really pumped out that fog. That fog, if this tells you anything, that fog wasn't there when we panned over here the first time. Do you know what I mean? So we have this fog here. It's subtle. He goes around, he's about to get captured. Oh, the reach, and then he gets panned through. This moment, there's no fog on this side. Now we have a lot of the fog still here. We pull him, boom, enter. We have that. And so if we can have all of this action take place, like all of that happen, and we still have a crap ton of fog, then why didn't we have this amount of fog in B2B set? You know, like production, come on. That would have really helped. Even there. This part right here, he takes it with the gauntlet. This is all super, super cool. Spinning it out. That right there, and they all move away. Super, super cool. They try to come out. So I'm wondering if the bell is signifying, like, getting those people in black away. You know? Morua Puda. And then they're all kind of dangling there. Then you have all of them there, and he's still hitting it. Look at the LED accent off of it. That's cool. Boom again, and a boom. Accents right there, the LEDs to match, to boot. But the LEDs a little bit too fast. And then we're here. Yes, you see those lights, but at least they're even. He's grabbing, they're holding onto that bell. He slowly comes up. The little, Now this part right here, goodness, with all of this, with the sheet, like this is freaking sick. The dancers on the outside, really cool. Ta ta ta, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, all slowly come up, so it looks like they're controlling them. Really cool. They take it and they move away. Love that. And then they're all running. Look, taking it really nice on the formation choices. Da 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 da. Really like that. Super dope. Da 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 da. Gotcha. It's cool. The da-da, da-da. Now, I do know the chorus. Doom, 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 doom. Like, I know that part. I don't really know much of the other choreo for this. But I know the original. Does feel more intense. The evil. That kind of stuff. I still don't know what their concept is. And I think that's fine. If you look at content, I think they're doing a good job utilizing their dancers. Dancers looks great. Da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Now, I don't know if this is... Well, let me go back. You know how I'll find this out? So, it's still clean. Han. So they panned it up and then down. Like, that would have made sense if they switched out the performer, but they didn't. So I don't know what the intention was for this. Maybe just to reset the formation. That's a potential. So then you have the red and the blue opposition like what we saw earlier. So I understand that fingerprint. Now this part right here, we're taking it really nice moment. Like this is super cool. Like that is freaking sick. That is awesome. I love that a lot. That's so cool. Inching it up. Now my question is this in the beginning? I think, yeah. This is the very beginning section, I think. Like part of the stage is what that looks like. Now we're back in the hallway. We honestly could have hung out in the whole freaking hallway in just those 3 little segments and it would have been totally fine, in my personal opinion. But, alas, it is what it is. Walls really help keep the environment set because they're up and we don't see any post-production stuff. And then the lighting now is subtly different. I love that. And then he crawls through. So do I feel like one side got most of the money and then one side was more underdeveloped? Yes, but they have dancers that really make it nice and full that help with that. Now this part's really cool. Boom, boom, that boom, 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 and then they take it, nice with the red, boom. So it now is they're in control, so they're no longer puppets, the other guys are. So that's, I understand that. I get that, cool. Boom, 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 boom. Ta, 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 ta. Really cool, and then you see the LEDs with those hands, that's freaking sick. Then he has the bell once again, I don't know what the bell signifies. And you have everybody kind of spanning around the back. You have, what's the word? You have this separated a little bit more. Yeah, it's fine. Then you have your choreo. Then you have the opposition taking place once again. You still have your production showing right there. Oh, very placed, and this doesn't feel as real. I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. That's really cool. All the dancers spanning around, having them in the middle. Then he hits it. Boom. Look at the LED on that. Ah, it's so cool. Now look at the environment of how this is set. This is really cool. So I would say the sheet on this was good, but then there was the moment where it kind of felt a little bit discombobulated, not quite as, what's the word? Connected to that whole beginning feels very different than what we're seeing here. And I think that would be my note, is that to make it more cohesive to some degree. I would say when it comes to who do I think has the most cohesive set, the boys do, you know. So if we're gonna go off of that, then maybe they may take the top 2 spot for this. I mean, Stray Kids, this is freaking sick. Very clean, boom, bringing up the energy, really like that. It kind of feels like I'm focusing more on just the production of it, more so than the dancing. Dancing's fine, the swing, dee, nice little ta-ta-toe action there. Building up the energy, panning it out, because it is a competition of production too, is what this looks like too. That was cool, branching him up, but also who uses their camera better too. Now look, they took it and they closed off that entire area of the LED screen. Like, that's cool. Do I think now, next question, do I think they needed these in that moment? If they're able to close these LEDs, they could have moved those off to the sides or done something with them. I don't know, but this is cool. But then it does provide a really cool frame. Nice marching, militant action on this. Then he threw, hey! Wow! Really nice. A different coloring than what I was expecting for the LEDs on that. I like that bracing, boom, do-do-do-do-do-do. Really like that. They're framing them very well. With the cool explosions on the side, which is really cool. They go and now they're bowed down and they finish up nice and tall. And then you have that ambiance. Look at the ambiance of the lighting and how it was set there, right? Like, that's a really cool color grade. Now, did I get this from the beginning? No. I do know the underlying concept is they're being controlled, something along those lines, right? But yeah, I can definitely, there is a difference in the qualities of the stages in terms of props or usage of props to help cover up the surrounding stages. That I understand. Do I think that Icon and B2B, by having more, I honestly think B2B had what they needed. I just think they needed more fog and more flower petals. Honestly, I think that would have really helped that. With Icon, I think the structure of theirs, there was a lot of production stuff that happened that I think could have really made it a lot better, but the connection between the two songs, the lighting would have helped them a lot more there. There was some disconnect in the props that they even chose to. But here, this was really cool. It is a tad bit disconnected from what you saw dystopian-wise in the beginning set to here. I loved that sheet action. Super sick there, right? And I think that's a really cool moment to have, but they could have honestly pulled a lot of this off in the first set and just keep it hanging out over there. I don't know, but that's just my personal preference. Remember, this is just my personal opinion. It doesn't influence this at all, and we do not have to agree, and that is okay. I am so open to learning more. If there's more things I don't realize about this, I do know all the stages are going to feel more equally yoked in the future challenges, so I am looking forward to that. But here in this case, it makes sense why this one's probably going to be in top 3. Just from, there's a lot of really cool props that they used in this. And I liked how they continue to use them. There were some props, however, where they did have, I did not quite know what I guess the bell was to control or to shift or something. And then you have the fits, like the opposing colors really helped. It's the elegant framework. I think it's those little elements added in that it's like, I know the frame they had to showcase the kind of control, the marionette controlling, and then they have the frame built up as the platforms. I'm just curious about what their concept actually is to see how it ties it both together. Let's go ahead and move on.